How's it going, everybody? I'm down at the barn right now. It is a cold day here in December. Just kind of sitting there checking on the heifers. How's it going, girls? I wanted to make this video for a while, and figured now is the perfect time to do it with the off season. There's not a whole lot going on. Took me quite a while getting things together, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. So as you can see by the title, as you guys can see by the title of the video, this is the history of the farm. And I've talked a little bit here and there about little things about the history of the farm. This was not a farm in the family. My parents are both from New Jersey. They moved up in 1976. My dad was 26 years old. My mom was 22 years old. So big move for a young couple. They rented this farm and bought it outright in 1979. So I'm just going to show you guys some of the history of the farm. Yeah, some of the pictures are pretty old, so the quality isn't obviously of what today's pictures are, so remember that. But did the best I could getting them. So we're gonna start off by looking at the 70s when they moved up, getting their feet wet into the business, and yeah, just kind of getting settled into upstate New York. So here is the history of the farm. I hope you guys enjoy.
As old Morris Dunham, the guy I bought the farm from.
There's the old silos out front. Used to have just two silos, 14 by 40s out front. My dad's 720 that he wished he still had today. The one tractor he wished he still had that he doesn't have anymore.
Yeah, that's the original machine shed. Well, it was when we moved up here, and it was the bays were only 12 foot wide, and I don't know, maybe 10 feet high. And well, today's equipment, you couldn't fit anything in it, so we decided to slowly convert it over to a heifer shed.
That's his old Ford 7600, and he really liked that tractor. He used that tractor for just about everything. I do remember that tractor as a little kid.
That's my first wagon I bought, and I built the roof on it. Bought that corn planter in 1979, brand new, and it plants just as good today as it did then. Probably even better with all the updates over the years.
So as the 70s gave way to the 80s, there's about to be a lot of changes on the farm. My dad wanted a cab tractor. My parents were starting to have children, and my dad wanted a cab tractor because the kids, we were going to be going with my parents out to the field and when they worked in the field and stuff like that. So a lot of changes inside the barn. The silo, the hay elevator, you'll see all that. So this is the 80s. Like I said, my parents bought the farm outright in 1979. So as the 80s came, there were some big changes.
This was when we expanded from 40 cows to 50 cows. Doesn't seem like much today, but it was a big deal back then. Manure chute was inside. We put that outside so we could increase the stalls.
You said you'd do one side at a time, do one side, keep the cows on the other, and then
we
flip-flop?
Got down so we were milking 20 or 25 cows in the summertime, so that way we could, do half the barn. And so it's a lot of work, but
you can see the corn crib there along with the bin. We still use that bin today. That's the one that sits out front of the barn. My dad had a grinder mixer, and he had a New Idea corn picker, and he would grind his own feed.
The 20 by 50 wood stave silo we put up, probably one of the last wood silos, put up. I think they went out of business. This company, Globe Silo Company, went out of business shortly after we put this up. Worked well for many years. Yes, a Skinner elevator that was built locally, right in Binghamton.
Is that the Chris Skinner's grandfather there?
Yes, Chris Skinner's grandfather, Skinner Elevator Company.
There's a 3010 you picked up from the neighbor.
Yep, bought that from Lester Eaton, John Deere 3010.
That was our first little one. Always had to ride on the tractor, or sit on it anyway. Was Dad's little helper.
Like father, like son, gotta do whatever Dad's doing.
Should be another little one coming in pretty soon. Yep, there he is. There's Mike.
Future YouTuber.
That's right.
It's a International 101, one of the first self-propelled combines I think International made. And, we bought it one year when we had a lot of oats to do. We had about, 40 or 50 acres of oats that year. And so decided to buy a combine, and so we did the oats, and I think we only kept the combine a year or two and couldn't get parts for it.
Used to love when my dad would have oats done, because we would love when those Agway trucks came. I would sit in those trucks for hours and pretend I was driving. I loved trucks and tractors as a kid. Still do today. Empire Farm days. Always had to sit on everything.
Yeah, I was trying this tractor out, 4040. Couldn't decide between the 4040 and the 2940. I like the transmission on the 2940. It was much easier to shift, synchronized shifting, TSS 16-speed transmission versus the quad range. I just couldn't figure out the quad range. It was just kind of strange. So if I had it do over again, I would have bought both tractors.
Oh, that's when we were trying out tractors. It was an exciting time.
Yeah, decisions,
That's
huh?
right.
So I was contemplating buying another tractor. So I was back the days when you could try out everybody's tractor and be willing to bring tractors down, let you run them for a day or two. And as you can see, there was a lot of dealers in the area. This is a tractor I went with, 2940, still runs today. Thought that was gonna be the biggest tractor I needed.
They used to take picnic lunches out to the field when the men were out there working.
This was back when there was no such thing as baggers. So if we had any extra corn, this is what we did with it. We just piled it and then fed it up as quick as we could before it went moldy. You know, built the Morton building. It's really something watching them put it up. They put it up in, I don't think it was a week they had it up. Quite something to watch. Once we got this built, so then we could convert the old machine shed into the heifer barn. So we slowly remodeled that. The old 4230, I bought it at auction. Thought that was the greatest tractor. It's an 8-speed power shift, which I learned to hate it. So I start trying out new tractors again, and
So that's what the barn looked like before. My parents did the first part of renovations, and they had the barn chute coming out the end of the barn. Then they enclosed all that and put the barnyard in.
New baler. Then, even though she's wearing blue, we finished up with our last one, our little girl.
As the 80s rolled into the 90s, you're going to start seeing some changes that you recognize today. In the mid to late 90s, we're entering our teenage years, so there's going to be some activities like 4-H and sports from school. So here's a look at the 90s. There's my mom with my sister moving that tractor. There's the baby checking out the babies. That's my cousin. One of my cousins visiting from New Jersey. That's when the seal stores were put up. Couldn't find anything when they were building the seal stores. I know we have them somewhere, but it's the high moisture corn unit and then the haylage unit.
you can see how the wood silo's leaning. The wind blew it over against the barn, and we tried yanking it back with a cable and straightened it up a little bit, but never was perfect after that. Couldn't run a silo loader in it very well, so we eventually replaced it with the 24x60 seal store. This is an old Case combine I bought at the local auction and for next to nothing, and that's about what it was worth. This is my baby, 4055, still is today. Best tractor I ever owned.
That's my brother taking manure out, coming back. That's with the old 3020 we had.
This is the 4-H days. Kids all showed cattle for 4-H.
My dad let us get jerseys for a 4-H project, and that was the first jersey we got. That was Babette. She was a great cow. That's after she had her first calf. It was in 96, I believe. She was, yep, 96. She won Grand Champion of Jerseys, and then we went in for the whole breeds, and she won Grand Champion of all breeds that year. This is a football game. End of the game, they were pulling all the starters out, and I think it was our first win of the season. It's funny how you still remember things like that. This was up at the Carrier Dome in Syracuse, New York. Pretty cool to be able to play on that field. Good camera work by my mom. I made a catch and I just stayed in bounds. In basketball, had a lot of fun playing basketball. Going on road trips with my friends. I hope you guys enjoyed a look back to the different decades on the farm. You know, as I stand here with these heifers, I think to myself how it won't be long before they're in the barn milking. And it's like that all the time, you know, whether it's equipment or kids or the cows. We grow up, we move on from the equipment to bigger equipment, other equipment. So in closing this video, here's kind of a look back throughout the years, then and now. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give me a thumbs up if you liked the video. Drop me a question or comment below and hit that subscribe button. I truly appreciate it. Until the next time, we'll see you later. Have a good one, everybody. Where are you guys going?